Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs and pokey yokes. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dope. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done. While rush to end it all, it feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think of a thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or death since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and many blessings. Greetings, shalom, peace and blessings. What's up? What's up, y'all? Peace, Legacy Sigma. How you doing, sir? What's up, Sharon? How are you? Namaste to the missus. What's going on? Today is Tuesday. It's the last day of September. Tomorrow is October 1st. How do y'all be? What's up, D? Peace. Hey, peace. Nikki Love, how are you, ma'am? What's going on, y'all? How's it going? I hope y'all had a great weekend. What can I say that I haven't said before? It's all going down. It is all going down, y'all. But I hope y'all had a great weekend. You know, I hope y'all having a good start to your week. You know what I'm saying? What can you do? You know what I mean? I just saw this video about a bouncer. I knew a bouncer when I worked for the strip club in El Paso, and he was the nicest person ever. You know, he's huge. He was like Lou Ferrigno size, not in height, but build. He was big, but gentle giant. You know what I'm saying? They have some tough jobs. I would never wish that on anybody. You know what I mean? And yet still people get drunk and they try those bouncers. Those bouncers have dangerous jobs. I just saw this video where this bouncer, it looked like he damn near killed this young dude. You know what I mean? I'm going to show it actually. This right here is just crazy. Just crazy how easily he picked them up and just, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Look at this right here. I muted the sound, but check this out.
Time to go, y'all.
Damn.
Time to go.
Twice. Damn. Y'all see that? The cops are in the background too.
Hey, y'all, about time to go, y'all.
Damn.
Time to go.
Woo. Jesus Christ, man. I'm surprised his neck ain't broken. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. But as the world turns, the world is getting crazier. Peace, Mooney. How are you? What's going on, Michael? What's the deal? Peace, brother. Like a rag doll, right? I've seen some shit, but I've seen people get knocked out by bouncers, but they got a real dangerous job. But that right there, I don't know what the young boy could have said. Jesus Christ, man, it's just getting crazier and crazier. You know, so hopefully y'all have done all the tips and the tricks that I've given you here over the past couple of lives. I've been saying pretty much the same things over and over again, to be quite honest. I just hope that y'all are implementing them, you know, applying them, because once again, it means nothing if you don't apply it. It means absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So in one of my favorite videos of Bobby Hemmett doing a lecture outside, he addressed this question that the young brother asked him. He asked, well, let me show you. Let me show the clip. what he said here.
What's up?
All right, we're here today to do post-traumatic slave syndrome and a host of other things that he's going to touch on. That's the first question.
Yeah. All right, Black.
In the past weeks, table, they've been talking about if the black man could be the devil, right? And they said that he can only be the devil's advocate. So I want to know your take on it.
It said now what again now?
Yeah, they've been arguing about can the black man be the devil? And they said no, he can't because he can only be his advocate.
He can only be the devil's advocate because after being stripped of a thorough knowledge of self, he's going to act like his slave master.
Right, yeah.
So he can be the devil's advocate. That's not saying the black man won't do no evil.
Right. So basically that means that by nature he's trained. He might be trained that way by nature. You can train a cat, you see what I'm saying, to swim, and and a dog to climb a tree. But don't necessarily mean it's the original origin of the nature. So that particular concept and all, for the mere fact that we have been here for almost 400 years and still haven't committed the atrocities against the Europeans as they did for us, let us know in actuality that even in our most deepest subconscious mind, we behave different. You see, yeah. So that's one aspect of that. Yeah. Give me some questions. Glad to be back here in Harlem.
I have a question. Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah.
Considering the topic of being a post-traumatic slave syndrome, what would be the symptoms that we can see in our people on the outright as far as that traumatizing effect upon our people?
Or what we can basically see. I mean, you could just naturally behavior, appearance. I mean, it could be. I mean, take for instance, they had this guy that broke in this house last week. Broke in this house in a black guy, young guy, 24 years old, that went to this white woman, and I think she was 95 years old, and he asked her for some water, and then raped her repeatedly, cooked some dinner, and all of that. Now, anybody know anything about rape? Rape has a lot to do with power. So after they commit that act, they don't necessarily enjoy it as much more than they do the actual power. But for the mere fact that this guy raped her repeatedly, that means that he was actually turned on. So we've gone down to that particular level of psychological conditioning where you could have these types of things that's going on. I mean, a 95-year-old woman, black or white, I mean, how can you even get turned on? So obviously you're still talking about a form of post-traumatic syndrome, slavery syndrome, that would create this type of monster to do something like that now, and basically it's, the more and more the society gets that we don't have certain cultural laws to guide us, these things happen. Let me give you an example about cultural laws. We're not necessarily talking about the African laws, but we had certain things set up prior to post-slavery. We had certain laws and certain cultural things that we had put together post-slavery, mainly out of segregation, that in so many words, it was a cohesiveness that taught us how to behave. Things that happen, but we talking about 30 years, going there almost 40 years prior to, desegregation, and now these laws are actually breaking down. These cohesive laws that we used to have, not written laws, but certain things we just didn't do based on certain things in the community that was set up that way. Now we're...
All right. So anyway, I might have shown that before. I'm sorry about the camera going out, but I'll fix that in a second. Peace and blessings, Sister Righteous, Brother Chikezi. Peace. What's up, Brother Moore? How are y'all doing? I hope that we're not still actually blaming a white man for our behaviors now. You know what I mean? Because it's been years now since slavery has ended, you know. And I get what Bobby's saying, but at what point do we start to look inward? You know what I mean? At what point? It's just crazy to me, the stuff that I've been seeing. The loss of the knowledge of self is just, it overwhelms me sometimes, and I just can't believe some of the things that I'm seeing. You know what I mean? It is crazy. The stuff that they're pulling now. Remember I said that I'm not bragging about anything like this, but remember I said things was going to get worse. They've gotten much worse. You know what I'm saying? They have repeatedly gotten worse, and they're just doing nothing but continuing. They're continuing their scare cat tactics. They're continuing, poisoning everything. And check this shit out right here. Peace to Katrina for sending this to me. It's just unbelievable. So the stuff that they're pulling now is just beyond believable. Look at this.
Identity data to a new level. Correspondent Dan Springer reports on a controversial new questionnaire that some New Jersey parents were not expecting.
You can't make this shit up.
Becoming a new parent is always a time of enormous change. But now in New Jersey, some moms and dads are being asked to fill out a sexual orientation and gender identity questionnaire for their baby.
You gotta be kidding me.
Do you identify your baby as female, male, transgender, genderqueer, or something else?
What the fuck?
Which of the following best describes your baby? Lesbian or gay, straight or heterosexual, bisexual, or questioning unsure?
It's completely and utterly insane. And I think in New Jersey, a very big litmus of showing how insane.
Libtard? Is that what you said?
This questionnaire is being given to new parents at several hospitals run by Inspira Health Network in southern New Jersey. But other hospitals.
Hospital network in New Jersey is taking.
Yeah. So now they are asking, this is New Jersey that they're happening. They are asking now for people to identify other than male and female. They're talking about now transgender, transformer, I should say, and other nonsense. You know what I mean? I said several years ago, y'all, I said it. I heard myself say it. I said once a certain type of lifestyle was embraced in the Black community, in the melanated community, I said, watch everything else follow. And here we are. Here we fucking are. You know what I mean? Here we are. Namaste. Baby girl, hey, how are you? I have not seen you in a minute. What's going on? You mean, oh, yeah, the rapture. Yeah. Did y'all miss it? Did y'all miss it? Oh, wow. We were supposed to have gone into certain people were supposed to be going up and away into the heavens, I think. That was before Ani Osaru joined me here. What's up, Lenora Rice? Peace. Right. Damn weirdos. Exactly. Yes, Mooney. You heard it right. I know y'all can't see me. I'm sorry. I'm having problems with my camera. It's acting a bitch as usual. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and probably just do something else. I'm still trying to get it, but I can still talk, so y'all can still hear me. What's up, Miss Tosh? Yeah, so I don't actually like doing broadcasts like this, you know. So if I don't get my camera up and running, I am probably going to end this early, you know. So I'll do what I can. I'll keep talking, you know. I have plenty of clips to show y'all, you know. I want to door pause some shit, you know what I mean? Because they are, while they're doing all this nonsense, they are actually, you know, they got the celebrities on board. Now, you know, they got the celebrities on board. You know what I'm saying? So they are trying to make y'all go outrage for the sake of outrage, fake outrage. You know what I'm saying? Because did y'all see the shit with Serena Williams? Did y'all see that? Peace, Bobby L. What's up? Namastizzle. Today is Rapture Day. I guess we are. Oh, so it's today. Okay. All right. All righty. Okay. All right. Well, I ain't went nowhere. I'm still here on this fucking rock. So, I don't get it. You know what I mean? But did y'all, any of y'all see with the bullshit with Serena Williams? Did y'all see that? Y'all can write in the chat if you can, please, about the hotel in New York. Did y'all see that? The mic went out too. Lord have mercy. Y'all didn't hear? What am I missing? None of my friends came up missing during the rapture. I guess we're all hellbound. Well, I thought we was already there. Serena Williams says that, where is it? This right here. I found it. Check this out, y'all. Just look at this shit. Like, I want to do a pause so bad. My camera's being a bitch. Y'all see this right here? Oh, Prox, what's up, Prox? Yeah, you heard about it? Yeah, this is some bullshit, right? Because you know someone was going to find something to check her on. She said that it made her uncomfortable. It didn't feel great. Come on now. I'm door pausing. I know y'all can't see me. I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna end this broadcast early because I can't do it. I can't do this. I like to let y'all see me. You know, I can't just. I don't even see how people can do this with just the mic. I can't do it. I'm still trying to get my camera up. I'm not sure what the hell is going on, but come on now. She said this cotton plant that was in her hotel made her, it didn't feel great. You know what I mean? Serena ain't never been a slave. She don't know nobody who's been a slave. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Like I told y'all before, you can be rich and famous and still be a slave. And she's the perfect example of it. How are you going to be offended about a cotton plant as decor in your hotel, yet you wearing European hair and you're married to a white man? Dora, pause. You can't see me, but I'm doing it. Give me a second, y'all. All right, I'm back. You know what I mean? Get real. You know what I'm saying? Dora, pause. You can have all the money in the world and you still got to do what your handlers tell you to do. She's the perfect example of it. Right. You have a white husband and wore makeup exactly. But she talking about it didn't feel great. What didn't feel great? Then someone researched and found that she was showing a cotton plant in her fucking house. You can't make this shit up, people. You can't make it up. Ugh. That's why I tell y'all, fuck these celebrities. Don't pay no attention to them. You know what I mean? Just leave them alone. They stupid. Right. Major Dora pause. Get the fuck out of here. And she look exactly. You changing everything about yourself, you know, and white and melanated people will defend her to the death. They'll defend these celebrities to the death about bleaching their skin, wearing European hair. Yeah, I said it. How are you wearing someone else's texture on your hair? You know what I mean? How are you doing that? Anyway, I'm not going to go into that because I can do a whole show on that alone. Right, cognitive dissonance, like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Y'all leave these celebrities alone. They rich for a reason. They still got to do what their handlers tell them to do. You know what I mean? What's up, Michael Charette? What's the deal, brother? You know, but anyway, if you can, you know, afford it, because I know money's tight for everybody these days. Please check out Denise Alvarado's newest book, The Black Herman's Dream Book. Okay, Black Herman. I've talked about him before. People like Azazel Bey has talked about him. He's well known back in the day, but a lot of people don't know who he is. Like they don't know who Pascal Beverly Randolph is. This is the website here. Black Herman's digital book is $3. You see what I mean? I went ahead and got it. Denise Alvarado. And there's a description of Black Herman. You know, Denise has been here before. I think it's time for her to ask her to come back. You know, please support the sister. Remember, Black Herman's Secrets of Magic, Mystery, and Legerdemain. But here's yet another occultist that the masses don't know about. Black Herman, who actually did the shit for real. He was a real occultist. He wasn't a stage. He was that, but he was also much more than that. You see what I mean? Just like Pascal Beverly Randolph. Okay. Conks, like Malcolm back in the day. What's up, William West? What you got for me today? What do you have for me today? Like I said, the shit is not going to stop. Isn't going to stop. It's going to get worse. You know, here's more nonsense, y'all. Here's more nonsense. Again, we can no longer blame white people for the way we act. Melanated people have been acting an ass and acting like animals for years now. It is no longer the white people's fault. Yes, they set it in motion, but it's time for us to detach from our animalistic behaviors. Okay, check this out. Can you look at this?
My son is 12 years old with a baby on the way, and I'm not going to let him be a part of the baby life part one. I don't know if y'all like the way I tell a story. Y'all just want me in y'all business. But a lady wrote me and said that she got a grandson on the way and she's not letting her baby be a part of the baby life at all. Here's why, though. She said when she first met the little girl, it was cool and dandy, but she realized the little girl had no structure. The little girl didn't have no guidance, and the little girl was pretty much out here on her own. So she told the little boy, like, this little girl might be a little too much for you. This is not a regular relationship. She's more fast than you. She's more experienced than you. And I really don't want you talking to her until I meet the mom. Well, she ended up meeting the mom, and the mom was just as worse. The mom was always in the streets. Every time she talked to the lady was drunk. So she stopped letting her son go to movie nights, bowling, and all that with the girl, and decided to make sure that they did not talk. Well, she said she went to all different procedures to make sure that these kids do not communicate. She went through his phone and found out he was still talking to her anyway, skipping school. She was encouraging him to smoke, drink, and basically rebel towards his mom. So she reached out to the girl mama, and the girl mama said that she was a hater and she was mad because she was single and she didn't want to see her son with somebody that would make him happy and, you know, have a happy family. So she said, no, they're actually too young to even be having intercourse, smoking, drinking, vaping. And your daughter is exposing him to all this. Come back for part 2.
12 years old. Major Dora pause again. Can't make this shit up, y'all. Can't make it up. You just cannot make this shit up. I swear. There's a national karma that comes with anyone who follows anything by the colonizer. All right. Message to the black man of class. Oh, yes. When I called myself following the Nation of Islam, that was the first book I had. 12 years old, y'all, having a baby on the way. 12 years old has a phone. You know what I mean? 12 years old. Already treating them like an adult. 12 years old. So you get what you get. Y'all remember that the natives actually used to do weather magic, right? Let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something else, y'all. You remember the natives used to do dances to affect the weather, and with the chemtrails and stuff that they're poisoning the atmosphere with, it would besiege. It would be in your best interest to if you're practicing magic, try and practice some weather magic. It does work. You know what I mean? I don't mean you have to go outside and do a dance like you see in the movies with them, you know, and the crazy dances they was doing. There's a book that I came across called Weather Magic. All right. Let's see. This actually can be useful to the magician. All right. Excuse me. This book is by Orbis Mystica, Harnessing Nature's Chaos Through Esoteric Science and Occult Mastery, right? Okay. What exactly is weather magic at its core? Weather magic is the art of interfacing with the living ecosystem of the sky. The winds, clouds, currents, pressure systems, and storms using a blend of occult knowledge, energetic resonance, sacred geometry, and chaos magic principles. It's the masteries of nature's chaos through will, informed by science and filtered through magical cognition. I'm talking about real-time interactions with the weather, not just praying for it to change, but participating in the morphic field of the atmosphere as a co-creator. It's less about commanding, more about entangling with it. I don't know. Anytime I hear the word entanglement, I think of that goddamn bald-headed Jada Pinkett. But anyway, weather isn't a servant. It's a wild god that sometimes lets you whisper into his ear if you know the right tone, the right frequency. You already know what chaos magic is, so I won't waste time explaining sigils or servitors. What matters here is application. Chaos magic isn't about spot results. Weather magic, when powered by chaos methodology, becomes a living experiment, responsive, direct, and brutally honest. If it works, you'll know. If it doesn't, the wind won't move, the pressure won't shift, and the storm will ignore you. This book merges chaos magic with animism, quantum theory, sacred geometry, and even a dash of techno sorcery. Why? Because storms don't play favorites. They respond to vibration, intent, and resonance. That's our playground. All right. Weather magic. Okay. There's also a book by, I can't remember his name, but Taoist Weather Magic. Those Taoist books are very expensive. They're over $100. Remember, I said that, you know, Taoist magic is powerful, but it's also very complicated. And so for that reason, I've researched it, but I have not actually practiced any of it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, the weather can be affected using magic. All right. This is an old concept. They've been doing it for years. The 50 names of Marduk. There's a name in there that can help you with magic, with affecting the weather. See what I'm saying? It's called the Necronomicon Spellbook. It's a book that has the 50 names of Marduk, right? But it gives you a very practical way of working with the 50 names. And the 50 names, you don't have to be a gatewalker to do this. It gives you the instructions. They're very simple. All you have to do is apply it. Okay? The Necronomicon Spellbook. Right? One of the easiest systems that you can follow. All right. It is the 47th name, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the Necronomicon Spellbook, but right here, the 47th name is Adu. raises storms that fill the entire heavens and causes the stars to tremble and the very gates of the Igigi to shake in their stead. Can fill the skies with his brightness even in the darkest hour of the night. His word is Kakodamu, right? And that is the sigil. Also, sometimes it's too difficult to deal with a situation that involves a great many extenuating circumstances, the personal feelings of several people, which may be confused. For example, the invocation of Adu can dispel the confusion and the troubled feelings and help clear the air in a quick and dramatic fashion. In extreme cases, Adu can abruptly change the entire situation for the better by throwing a fast-moving random factor into the pattern that causes everything to change and dispel bad energy. All right, yet another system of magic, if you will, using the 50 names of Marduk. That's the new generation born with a phone in hand. Yes, indeed, it is. The book is potent. It really is. And it's very, very simple. Okay. Can you use a storm to imbue a ring? That's a very interesting question. Huh. I would say so. Yes, you can use storms to power your magic. Absolutely. I know a person who actually they would rush to their magical ritual temple or garage or whatever and actually do rituals during thunderstorms. This same person used to collect rainwater to use during rituals. So yes, use nature magic. Let's call it nature magic. Okay. Tomorrow is the 1st of October. The most wonderful time of the year is coming. Okay. It's almost here. All right. Use rainwater for that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes. There you go. Indeed. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's Serena Williams. I forgot I had this. Here's Serena Williams showing a cotton plant in her own home. I had to go back to that for a second. I just saw it. She's showing a cotton plant in her own home, y'all. Look at that. It's in her house. But she's complaining about the cotton plant in the New York hotel. That's in her house. Fucking idiot, man. But hasn't been a good thunderstorm in a minute. Shit. It's been thundering, storming here in Texas off and on through the entire year. It's been really hectic here. All right. What else do I have to show y'all? Don't forget speaking of nature magic, also planetary magic. I always tell y'all about planetary magic. Has anyone tried it yet? Has anyone worked with the 7 planetary spirits, the Olympic spirits? Remember I told you be careful because that energy is very heavy. Has anyone tried it? Carl Nagel, one of my favorite authors of occultism, has a book on the Olympic spirits. This one is called Materializing a Powerful Magic Mentor and Other Acts of Ancient Magic. Okay. I might have shown this before. The powers possessed by these spirits are very diverse and far-reaching in nature, from the acquisitions of gold to the prolonging of life. A full list of these spirits and their governed areas of physical manifestation shall be given in due course. The Arbitel teaches that, together with faith and determination, meditation and intercontemplation of the self are the best of aids in the development of the magical art. Only someone who knows and experiences the joy and the peace can truly succeed as a practitioner of the sacred sciences. Set aside 10 minutes of your time, either morning or night, for the purpose of meditating upon the many mysteries of the mind, soul, and spirit. These moments spent in this manner will bring forth the magician within you. The powers and offices of the 7 Olympus spirits are as follows: Aratron, Bethor, Hagith, Ak, Ophiel, Phaleg, and Fool. Okay? Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Sun, Mercury, Mars, Moon. Okay? And this is the thing that they control. All right? Hagith, if you sit that one on someone, just be careful. Y'all know my story already about summoning that particular spirit. Okay? I literally just saw her. She also used to be mahogany brown, almost right. But she's bleached her skin and she's married to a white man and she's talking about fucking cotton. She's talking about cotton. The fuck are you talking about? You wear cotton. Wow, I need that book. Yes, it's planetary focus. Basically focused on the Olympic spirits. What's up, Empress KK? What's going on? When you work with the planetary spirits, are the maleficent effects for the planets also. You got to be careful whenever you mess with any spirit. Be aware of what they're known for. Be aware of their attributes, okay? But yes, the Olympic spirits are heavy. I use the term heavy because I don't know of another word that accurately describes it. That energy is heavy. Is it just heavy? That's all I can say is just heavy. Is in your face, it can affect you. Yes. You thought you was bugging? Nah, you ain't bugging. I gotta run errands, so in case the live ends before I can chime in, peace. All right, thanks for coming in, Bobby L. Azazel Bay, y'all know who he is. He did a great lecture on Halloween. I don't know what year, but it's called The Science of Superman. And here's a clip from that. Let me show this real quick.
Giver and receiver. You're going to go home between the hours of 12 and 1 and worship the phallus.
You're going to worship the phallus, y'all.
Do I have to spell it out? Everyone understand me? Women, you're going to go home and suck motherfucking dick. That's what you're going to do. And when you do that, you are worshiping the Vesica Pisces. Understand that. That is the ritual that we're calling for tonight on this day of Halloween. Everyone understand that? Remember, sex is energy. Okay? Sex is energy. Okay, so we're talking about this ritual for this particular day. Now, let's have some fun. We're talking about the Illuminoids and the battle of light and deprogramming alien dreams. First of all, we're talking about balance here. Balance. What is balance? Well, in Christianity, they give you a good and bad, devil and God concept. When in reality, one cannot exist without the other.
Y'all hear that?
Two fish on the bottom of the screen there, in the form of yin and yang, Pisces. Here you'll see Anubis and Horus holding the scales. You have Set, or Anubis, who is the god of the underworld, and Horus, who is the god of the horizon, the son of Osiris, basically. We're not going to get into deep science about it. We're just going to get the basic concept of what's going on here. Light and dark. Light and dark. Okay, so let's understand that. Now, science of superheroes. Here's an interesting article. Now, we had begun to put out our own comic books, black comic books. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, various independent African-American comic book publishers began a revolution in the world of comic books by creating non-stereotypical African-American superheroes, Brother Man, Original Man, Malcolm X, and so forth, to star in their comic books in 1993. In 1993, 4 of these publishers came together to strengthen their new black comic movement and develop a coalition and so on and so on. So we had these brothers with the talent, without the funds, producing black comic books. And what happened? And the white boy, the Jew, peeped this out. And he understood that the images that we were coming up with to present our superheroes with were just a little bit too positive and a little bit too strong. So they countered by coming up with their own versions of new superheroes and comic books and changing old superheroes back, notice I said back, into black superheroes. Okay? Here is Underdog. Anybody know the science on that? Think they know the science on that?
Anybody?
Well, let's go back to Anubis. What is Anubis?
What is Anubis, y'all?
God of the underworld. God of the underworld. We're deprogramming the Cartoon Network here. What is he? He is the underdog. Understand what's going on here. Understand the consciousness. Here's another image of him. Look like he fighting a pile of shit right there.
I remember I used to love Underdog when I was young.
Good old time here. How many of y'all remember Davy and Goliath? Is that right? Or is it backwards or what? Davy and Goliath.
I remember this one.
Control. A boy and his dog. The sun and the motherfucking underworld dog. The underdog in the horizon sun. Davy. Why would they call, if that's his buddy, if that dog is his friend, what the fuck they going to call it Davy and Goliath for? They were enemies. That's because the dog represents Anubis and he represents Horus, the sun.
This whole lecture is the shit. I promise you. Indeed, Nikki. Indeed.
I just throw this one in there. Space motherfucking ghosts. Think about that shit.
Space Ghost.
What is a space ghost? Some fucking astral zombie or some shit. Space ghost. The name alone means something. Okay. Now, there is a comic book superhero that you all have to read about.
Here we go.
And his name is Dr. Strange. Because that's what you're looked at as. Now, what's interesting about Dr. Strange, first of all, he lives in New York in the Village. He has a damn medallion that rises up off of his chest.
Are y'all listening?
Becomes his third eye.
Who is this he's talking about?
It becomes his third eye. And he is a black magician. They say it in the comic book. Go back and get any of his old comic books. Or they have, matter of fact, they have a whole compilation of his book in one compendium. He is a black magician. And he has a book called the Book of Ashanti. And in that book, you can look it up online, are rituals.
Nope, not Michael. I mean, I'm sorry. Not Delbert.
Ashanti.
Who's he talking about, y'all?
Ashanti. It's filled with black magic rituals.
Dr. Strange, y'all. Come on, y'all know this.
So I said, wait a second. This is kind of wild. This is just a comic book, ain't it? By the way, I went to the comic book store, and the damn physicist was sitting up there selling comic books. What the fuck is a physicist doing selling comic books? And I said, you know what?
Exactly.
Look at this book here.
Exactly.
And he said, yeah, but look at that book. He said, I hope you don't think Superman is fake. I said, what? This motherfucker, he said, I do this part-time. That's what he said to me in Yonkers. But this is the book I bought called The Science of Superman.
There you go, Lloyd.
The Science of Superman. And it's probably one of the heaviest books I ever read dealing with physics. Dealing with physics.
He's talking about Pascal. I'm glad some of y'all did get it. Pascal Beverly Randolph. And what he was talking about was the lesser book of the Vishanti. Is the Doctor Strange is actually a ritual book. I'm getting ready to show it to y'all. You know I got it, right? Y'all know I got that shit. Y'all know I got it. Here it is right here. I've shown this before, but it's been a long time since I have. The Lesser Book of the Vishanti, a companion to Doctor Strange comic books. Okay. I hate who put it together, but it is what it is. And look at the table of contents. The ritual artifacts and power objects of the art. Amulets, wands, scepters, and rods, enchanted jewels, candles, dolls, models, and effigies. I ain't seen that word in a long time. Effigy. Okay. Magical miscellany. Enchantments, spells, and incantations of the Vishanti. You know what I mean? Spells from, and then it lists the comic books that they come from. One of these is the Tomb of Dracula. You see that? Submariner, which is one of my favorites. Okay. Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. All right. Spider-Man. Okay. Spirits, deities, powers, forces, and sacred spaces of the art. All right. There's a lot in this book. Okay. A lot. Some of it may seem like nonsense, but at this point, you should be, I'm going really fast through it because I'm scrolling through it, but there's a lot in this book, y'all. I swear it is. Look at this. Since Oster is obviously a cognate of Ishtar, Ostara, and Astarte, various names applied to the Middle Eastern and European fertility goddess, it's my contention that the title Lord of the Skies was a translator's error and should read Lady of the Skies. Okay? It is a lot of science in this book, y'all. The lesser book of the Vishanti. Okay? This is talking about Pascal Beverly Randolph, y'all. Don't forget this book, too. The Rosicrucian Dream book. This, along with this, okay, you should have in your arsenal. Build you an arsenal. All right? Build you an arsenal. Okay? There was a woman in 1977 who started collecting programs from the news. She started recording, can't remember her name right now, but she started recording programs off TV because she thought that what would happen is they would rewrite history. So she started collecting programs. And now they are in the process right now, as we speak, they are in the process right now of transcribing her stuff into video format. She started using VHS tapes to record, and she collected a lot. I can't remember her name. Let's see, what was her name? She recorded TV for years. Marion Stokes. She recorded television broadcasts 24 hours a day for over 30 years, amassing around 71,000 tapes. Her project aimed to preserve historical news footage and protect the truth from misinformation. Okay? Misinformation. This is why I say collect everything. And I tell my students all the time, everything I give you, because I give them a lot. I say, everything I give you, store it somewhere. All right? Store it somewhere. Okay? Get external hard drives and start storing them. How y'all think I got so many PDFs? How do y'all think I got so many books? I don't have just PDFs. I have physical books too that I've collected over years. All right? You never know when you come across something, you're going to actually need it, especially when it comes to magic. Pascal Beverly Randolph, created by Stan Lee. Yes, there you go. Dr. Strange. Dr. Stephen Strange. Yep. Should have just went with my first thought. Yep. I think I told you before that the author of that book talked about how they help with some storylines. So they studied Pascal Beverly Randolph, put them into comic form. I think we spoke about that. That's kind of hazy. That's back when the comics smelled like the attic. Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed. You know. I've spoken also about, books that you should have in your arsenal. Like I said, build an arsenal. You never know when you're going to need something. Okay. This book is by Elfin Nakana. All right. This is a pen name. The Master Grimoire of Magical Rites and Ceremonies. Nathan Elkanah. Okay. It is a Finbar book. Guess who this book is? By. Okay. This Master Grimoire that you now hold in your hands is a practical grimoire for the practical modern man and woman. He who seeks fame and fortune can achieve such by employing the awesome powers of ceremonial magic. And he who wishes for just a simple life free of toil and difficulty will gain much through the powers of magic. This Master Grimoire can make you an adept. It can give you power over people, circumstances that you would never have thought imaginable. It's called a Master Grimoire because it's taken from some of the oldest and most potent magical grimoires of the past, mighty and masterful secret rites and ceremonies that can give the reader just about anything that he wants in life. Some of these secret rites and ceremonies have never been made public before. Okay? Never. You know who this is? And here is the table of contents. But it got like Kabbalistic magic in here. Let's see. You will find a magical rite or ceremony for almost any problem or condition of modern living in the pages of this Master Grimoire. Okay, and then it tells you what you can do. All right. Magic is the most fundamental study of all life. Okay. It gives you its purpose. It got Satanism in here. Can you believe that shit? And talks about the KKK. It is a great book, though. It is a great book. This is none other than Basil Crouch, y'all. It gives you some talismans of Lord Soul. You know who that is? That is the sun. All right. It is a great grimoire. There's an actual Egyptian one right here. Hieroglyphics for the ancient mummy candle ceremony. Okay. I'm not sure why he published this under a pseudonym, but he did. That's nobody but Basil Crouch, aka Basil LaCroix. Yep, that's correct. Basil LaCroix. That is who that is. Nathan Elkanah. I'm not sure, like I said, why he published under that name, but that is him. All right. Great book. All right. Also, Masking Who. I'm always talking about Babylonian magic, right? Because to me, the ancient ones are the most powerful ones. Okay. The ancient systems. All right. Babylonian Magic by Michael W. Ford. Okay. There's a lot to learn in this particular book. He is well researched. All right. He goes into Chaldean history, Assyrian history. You know, there's a lot to this. Okay. Like a lot. Once you start studying the history of these ancient civilizations, do you understand the fundamentals of why these magical systems work and why they operate the way they do? Why certain offerings were given to certain gods, and so on and so on and so forth. That's the purpose of knowing these magical civilizations. And what they have done, the modern ones, what they have done is stripped all of that down, taking out all the history, you know what I mean? And just giving you the bare fundamentals of what those systems contain. It's a disservice to you to do these systems and not know the reasons for certain things for them. Okay. If you are trying to go into this field. Go ahead, got it on the first. Yeah, you did. Before they shut down Block Talk, I download all the shows with Azazel, Bobby, Arlene Panic, Delbert, Kalinde, Wayne. Yes, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. My backups have backups. If you've never heard me say that before, I've said it. Okay, this is just one example of an external hard drive where I got so much information on this. You know, it's not just PDFs, it's clips, it's video clips of stuff you ain't gonna find nowhere else. You know what I mean? I could present it and it would take me days to go through it all. Okay, because they are rewriting history. That's exactly what they're doing. All right, so y'all stay safe. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see y'all Friday. Stay safe and stay sane, please. All right, stay sane. Okay, tomorrow is October. I couldn't be happier. Spooky season begins. All right, I see y'all on the flip side. I'm the one and only, the magical, mystical, and the diabolical one, Magick LaCroix. I see y'all Friday, if you be so kind to join me. As I greet you in peace as always, namaste. Peace, y'all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mooney, Chikezi, baby girl, Lloyd, everybody who came. I appreciate you all. All right, y'all. I'm out.